Make the new Freedom 96.9 your first choice for the latest news and trending stories. We're the new Freedom 96.9 and Freedom969.com, Oklahoma's talk radio. Freedom
Weather.
Here's your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast. This afternoon will bring partly sunny skies with windy conditions and a high of 55. Tonight, expect breezy conditions early on, then becoming partly cloudy and much colder with a low of 23. Tomorrow will be very cold with increasing clouds and a high of 37. On Monday, anticipate considerable cloudiness with very cold temperatures and a chance of a couple of flurries with a high of 36. With your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
We interrupt our program with a special bulletin.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are solely those of the speakers and other contributors. These views and opinions do not necessarily represent those of this station.
Broadcasting live from the command center of Freedom 96.9 in Oklahoma City, it's McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma, saving lives, protecting property, fortifying Oklahoma, one roof at a time. I'm Rick Allen Lippert here with Hague Certified Master Level Damage Inspector, Oklahoma Licensed Public Adjuster, Fortified Evaluator, and IBHS Fortified Roofing Contractor, Scott McCullum.
Good morning, sir.
Also here is Hague Certified Wind and Hail Roof. Oh, I forgot the commercial.
Wind and commercial,
Wind
yes.
and commercial.
You got it. You caught yourself.
Roofing Inspector
That's
Scotty
an improvement.
McCullum.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'll try to remember to fix that for next week.
That's fine.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Retro, I'm the one who should be on probation, Randy, not you.
That's for darn sure.
But since I have the script, Retro Radio Randy is on probation again today. But he is running the show, and you can talk to him when you call 40.
He's running somewhere.
405-608.
I hope he comes back.
4377. Oh, my goodness. We are live streaming today on the YouTube channel, the McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma YouTube channel, and we're also streaming the audio on freedom969.com. We'll start as usual with our trivia question and other interesting tidbits, including the word of the week. The number to call to answer the trivia question or to just ask a question, 405-608-4377. Later, we'll hear Scotty's view from the rooftop, and we'll have some After the Storm tips brought to you by Roof RX, and we'll wrap up with Dad's Wisdom. Coming back from breaks, some really obscure historical trivia. Hey, guys, Carpenter Square Theater has leased a parking lot right across the street. And this past week, we added a gate and a bunch of gravel to get it ready. Well, my friend George brought his tractor with the big scoop on the front and the box blade on the back to spread out the gravel. And he came back yesterday to finish the job, and he brought his son, Drew. I'd never met Drew before. Mm-hmm. As Drew climbed out of his truck, he handed me an envelope.
Oh.
Scott, it was a note from your lawyer saying, remember to say that S&CM LLC doing business as McRoof.us legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both residential and commercial roofing. Now, I don't even know Drew. I've never met him before. So how did your lawyer know that?
I don't know.
You know, Rick, have you ever heard of or seen The Truman Show?
I have. Are you saying I'm a Truman?
Maybe it's the Rick Show.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Wow. And I don't know what they're talking about, so I don't know why I'm laughing.
It was a real bizarre
Obscure movie with Jim Carrey back in the 80s.
Okay.
Or, no, 90s.
Yeah. Anyway, 405-608-4377 is the number to call for you to answer this trivia question.
And I'm going to make you work this week.
Okay.
So, certainteed, quality made certain, satisfaction guaranteed since 1904. What are the components of CertainTeed's integrity roof system?
No multiple choice this week.
Yeah, we're
multiple
not-
choice.
Yeah.
No, this is for the A students or the A Googlers, one of the two.
Wow.
What are the components of CertainTeed's integrity roof system? If you think you know, Give us a call.
Benny knows.
Yeah, 405.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but to get them all, you're probably going to have to Google.
Oh, no.
And we know Benny doesn't Google.
We should give
We can
extra.
say he does a
we
lot
should
of
give,
things,
We
but-
should give extra points then to.
405-608-4377. The winner will get their choice of books, either Raving Fans or Unreasonable Hospitality, or 2 free tickets to any Carpenter Square Theater production this season. And I mentioned that we got a parking lot where we opened the radio on stage version of It's a Wonderful Life last night. Fun show, well done. It's like watching a radio show from the 1940s.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the show is sponsored by McRoof.us.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and name's in the program, and you mentioned in the curtain speech. When are you coming to see the show? You bring in
Well,
the whole.
We talked. I talked to Carly the other day, and she's going to get with Scotty. We're going to figure out at least the 6 of us, and then we'll see if we want to expand it beyond that.
Okay.
So we'll let
All
you
right.
know.
All right.
Probably next weekend.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. All right. So our trivia question again: certainty, quality made certain, satisfaction guaranteed since 1904. What are the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System? 405-608-4377.
Well, Chad didn't light us up like in the first 15 seconds like he has the last week or two, so maybe Chad doesn't know the answer.
Well,
He's Googling.
yeah. Maybe.
Maybe so.
All right. So our word of the week.
That's empathy.
Oh, why are you using that word this week?
Well, we'll let Scott explain why, but I'll give you the definition.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Empathy, the ability to emotionally understand what others feel and see from their point of view. To imagine oneself in their place. Essentially, putting oneself in others' positions.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
word for this Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, and the reason
Good word for this time of year.
The reason that I thought about that, quite honestly, I was going through my little Thanksgiving list and things, and one of the things that I've always said about my son is he was given one of the most abundant doses of empathy of any human being I have ever known. He has always, since he was a wee little boy, able to look at things from somebody else's point of view. And as he has grown up into the young man that he is now, he has always tried to find ways to make things better for them. How can I make their situation better? Or how can I give them what they need in this situation? It's what he's taught his team at McRoof. It's how we actually go to market. We don't start out trying to tell you what you need, okay? We will tell you what the conditions are, what the proof on the roof is. We will tell you that, but we want you to tell us what you need to get out of this relationship. What are you wanting to accomplish? What are your pain points? What are your experiences in the past? What are your financial limitations? What are your desires and goals? And then we're going to craft a solution. That's why we call them solution specialists, not salespeople. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to craft a solution for you that you see value in and decide that we might be somebody you want to do business with. It starts with empathy.
Okay. All right, our trivia question still out there. What are the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System? Give us a call, 405-608-4377. So, we had Thanksgiving this past week.
We did. How about you guys? Everybody celebrate with family?
Yeah, ate well.
Ate well? Okay.
A little too well.
Ate well and often, huh?
I made a green bean casserole.
Oh, I bet you did. I bet
and some
you
dressing that is really.
Scotty, tell him what your mama said about green bean casserole the other day.
Well, I mean, she showed me how to make it for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's impressively simple. At least hers is.
Not the way I made it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I did not open a can of soup.
Many recipes. Well, then you made cream of mushroom soup on your own, I'm sure. Or
Yes, I did. Yeah,
some equivalent.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
Well,
nice. I want to make it that way, too.
And Scotty's mama said, Scotty, if you ever have a potluck or something, you have to bring something, volunteer to bring the green bean casserole because it's so easy.
I have made it that easy way.
Yeah.
And this time
But I bet yours was delicious.
Yeah, although my wife said she really enjoyed it, but she has not helped herself to the leftovers.
Oh, really?
That's appears to be my job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had apple pie. My mom and I made a lattice work apple pie for the first time.
And it was
together.
Delicious,
It was
Scotty.
very good.
I'll bet.
Very good.
Yeah. Pecan pie.
Oh,
yeah. Man.
Yam crunch, corn casserole, all those goodies, boy.
Yep.
Yeah, all those goodies.
A little
Hey,
too much.
But you got some work done earlier in the week.
Well, yes, we did. We this week I was in Tulsa on a fortified build.
Yeah.
And
More about that later.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And Scotty, what did you do this week?
I closed up some loose ends.
Good.
A lot of people that want to get their job scheduled before the holidays. Not before the not to be done before the holidays, but
just get on the books.
Get on the book.
Yeah.
And we did that with a few people this week, and that was nice.
Yeah, and we've had 2 late fall hailstorms,
Right.
which one on the east side, one on the west side. That's kind of lighting us up a little bit too. So anyway.
Well, yeah.
All right. And with that, we'll take our first break. Remember, that trivia question is still out there. What are the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System? 405-608-4377. When we come back, some really obscure historical trivia and more about fortifying your roof, including that build in Tulsa Scott mentioned. We'll be right back.
They deal with the insurance company for you, which is so nice and helpful.
One of the most important things that I prioritize is setting the right expectation, what they can expect from their insurance carrier, what ducks need to be lined up to make sure their project reaches the outcome that they desire.
I'm on the phone most of the day, talking with insurance companies, trying to resolve a claim that has not been paid correctly. We don't give up.
They were able to come out and give a full, in-depth inspection. That process ultimately led to a doubling of the claim.
He probably got me, at least on this roof, $50,000 more by my calculation than I would have gotten with the other roofers.
It goes far beyond what a normal roofing company would do. We're going to do it right.
McRoof Fortifies, Oklahoma, back on the air on this date of November 29th, 1775. An American physician named James J. invented invisible ink. Now, did you ever make invisible ink when you were in school?
I believe so.
Well, you can thank James J. for that. 1775. That's amazing. On this date of November 29th, 1864, the Sand Creek Massacre, the 3rd Colorado Cavalry, injured or killed between 150 and 600 peaceful Cheyenne and Arapaho Native Americans, including Cheyenne Chief One Eye, 1864. I don't know why that happened, but it was a very sad day, the Sand Creek Massacre. Okay, let's go back to Tulsa, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, let me repeat the trivia question first. What are the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System? 405-608-4377. Okay, fortified build in Tulsa.
Yeah, so we had a nice home in the kind of historic area there that we were doing a fortified roof on. What was really interesting about this is the roof we thought it was going to be a redeck. And what we found out was that the two-story portion of the house, the original portion of the house, was a redeck, but that all the little wings and appendages and things had been add-ons. And there were 4 of those. 3 of the 4 were, of course, OSB decking, and then 1 of the 4 was the old plank decking. So it's kind of interesting. It's the way these houses get added onto over the years and how things happen. So we had a hodgepodge there that we had to work through and figure out how we tie everything in together and make it look right. There were some framing issues in the add-ons that were particularly troublesome for us. Areas where roof planes did not really line up, ridges didn't line up and meet the way they should have.
Oh my!
Created some really, in fact, I've got an area on the house right now. It's done. I'm not happy with it. I'm trying to think what I could have done differently, and I may want to go back and try something else. We had actually built an area up where a ridge came out to a point, and then they had added onto it, and the 2 ridges weren't in the same line.
Oh my!
And so now I've got a hump in that roof, and it's right where I wanted to have ridge vent.
Oh.
And it just looks funny to me, and I'm not happy with it. But I'll ponder it a little bit, maybe have Scotty look at it when he's over that way. We'll figure something out. I bet we go back and change something.
So tell me, and I think I know the answer, but for the purpose of a conversation on the radio, why did this homeowner choose to go fortified on this historic house?
So their zip code was in the Strengthen Oklahoma Homes grant program zip codes in the, I think, 2nd or 3rd rollout this year for the Tulsa area. And her roof was significantly old. She knew that she needed a new roof. Now, she did not file an insurance claim. Because in her mind, the payment that she was going to receive from the insurance company was so minimal that she really did not want to have that black eye on her record. So she paid that portion of it. But because it was in the grant zip code, that's the reason she decided now was the time. Hey, I'm going to pay for a roof. Here's $10,000 that's available to me to pay for a better roof. So let's take advantage of that.
And for those who might be tuning in for the first time, when you're talking a fortified roof, tell us very briefly what that means.
Well, when you're talking a fortified roof, you're talking about the Institute for Business and Home Safety Fortified Roof Program. You're talking about having to have a fortified contractor install that roof, basically fill the prescription, do it exactly the way that Fortified has written it. You're nailing down the roof deck in a way that no one in Oklahoma has ever done. You are basically sealing up all of the joints in the decking to where no water can get in, or very little water can get in when that deck is sealed. And then you're actually locking in the entire roof system to resist the wind in the way that you install the drip edge and the starter course on this roof. So you're basically nailing it down, sealing it up, locking it in. We're building a roof with a special type of shingle, or a special high performance shingle, let's call it, that will stand up to the very severe hail as tested by not Underwriters Laboratories, not a manufacturer, but is tested by Institute for Business and Home Safety. The shingles have to be tested by them. The contractor has to be approved and credentialed by IBHS, or you will not have a fortified high wind and hail designated roof. Now, you can build a fortified roof, or you can have a contractor who's not a fortified contractor attempt to do it, and you can try to do everything the way you're supposed to do it, but you will not have a designation which will entitle you to the significant insurance discounts. and you may not have the level of performance because you don't have a third party, an evaluator, looking at everything to say, yes, this was done exactly the way it's supposed to be done, so we know the level to which it's going to perform, which is the high EF2 level tornadoes and the very severe hail performance.
You mentioned the certifications and stuff to be an IBHS fortified contractor. You've been through all of that, and you're also an IBHS evaluator.
So
how difficult was that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of the more difficult. I've taken tests all my life in the construction space. All right, I will tell you that it is probably the hardest test I had ever taken as far as the contractor piece of it. All right, I actually. I'm one to go in and I'll take a test to see what I don't know, and then I'll go study what I don't know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this was a very difficult test. In fact, I've had people who have told me, "Hey, I failed this test multiple times. Help me out here." So it is a difficult test. The roofing contractors do have that sense of this test. They know that it's difficult. It's not a standard that everybody can meet. There are people that have given up on it. So. The evaluation part of it is the test for the evaluator part of it is more the documentation, how do you go through the processes and all that kind of thing. So that's a much easier thing from my standpoint.
But speaking about the evaluator,
yes,
in the evaluation,
yes,
in cases that are not fortified, the contractor puts a roof on and says, "Oh yeah, we done a good job. You got a good roof here," and then they drive away, and you have to take their word for it. But with a fortified, a third party who was not involved in the installation of that roof comes in and inspects it and basically blesses it.
Well, what you've really got with the evaluator, number one, the evaluator's first role is to come out. If you want to go into fortified, you have an evaluator come out who assesses your property to say, yes, this property is eligible to be brought up to fortified standards. So that's step number one. That's their initial inspection, that initial qualification. Then they're going to come out when all your materials are delivered to make sure that the contractor has the proper materials on the job to be able to execute. And then the contractor is actually responsible for all the documentation, the photographs, everything that is required to show what they do throughout the entire process. An evaluator can't stay on site for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
It's the contractor's responsibility to document the actual project. He sends all that information to the evaluator, who reviews it all, packages it all up when he's satisfied he has everything that he needs. That goes to the Institute for Business Home Safety audit team. They review everything that the third-party evaluator has sent in. They look at all the photographs. They'll say, this roof does not pass for whatever reason. We need this, 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 and this. Or maybe they'll say, we need these photographs that we don't have, or maybe we don't have a certification you were supposed to provide, something like that. Or everything looks great, here's your designation. All right, and then they send that designation not to the homeowner, they send it to the evaluator, who then delivers that to the homeowner and collects his payment.
All
so
right.
That's how that works.
All right. In the just over a minute we have left before we go to the news break, I want to remind everybody that you're listening to McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma on Freedom 96.9, the only live call-in radio show on Freedom 96.9 on Saturday morning. So our number is 405-608-4377. Our trivia question is still out there. This is really an easy one. All you got to do is go to the Google and you can look this up in 30 seconds. What are the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System? How many are there? 4 or 5?
Well, I say there are 6.
Okay.
But I think if you're
I say 5.
If you're looking at the brochure, I think it's going to show you 5, and I'm going to tell you what the 6th one has to be.
There you go. Scotty McCullum, Retro Radio Randy, taking your phone calls, 608-4377. I'm Rick Allen Lippert. We'll be back with the second half of McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma on Freedom 96.9 after this short break.
At the new Freedom 96.9, no fake news, no crybabies, no snowflakes. Just our commitment to let freedom ring. We're the new Freedom 96.9 and freedom969.com. Freedom
weather. Here's your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast. This afternoon will bring partly sunny skies with windy conditions and a high of 55. Tonight, expect breezy conditions early on, then becoming partly cloudy and much colder with a low of 23. Tomorrow will be very cold with increasing clouds and a high of 37. On Monday, anticipate considerable cloudiness with very cold temperatures and a chance of a couple of flurries with a high of 36. With your Oklahoma City AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
We interrupt our program with a special bulletin.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are solely those of the speakers and other contributors. These views and opinions do not necessarily represent those of this station.
McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma back on the air for the second half of today's live program on Freedom 96.9. On this date of November 29th, 1877, Thomas Edison demonstrated his hand-cranked phonograph for the first time. Hand-cranked phonograph. Wow. And then on this date in 1887, the United States received the sole rights to use Pearl Harbor in Hawaii for refurbishing and coaling of naval ships. All right, our trivia question is still out there on McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma. What are the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System? 405-608-4377. Okay, so we talked a little bit about your respective weeks. Anything else you wanted to add to those?
Come on, Scotty.
Not really. Not without giving my view away.
Oh, so what do you have coming up this week?
As far as I know, I'm not officially working, but of course that means I'll be on call for anything that I need to do in the field, because I have accumulated PTO that is unredeemed and need to take that before it expires.
Yeah, use it before somebody else does.
Yes, exactly.
So we'll be spending the day in the warehouse tomorrow. As many people as are available. I have made a mess of the warehouse, loading and unloading my truck over the last couple of weeks, and we're going to tackle that little project since we'll be inside on Monday. And
a good day to be inside, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, be a good day to be inside. And then we've got a big build that's gotten pushed a couple of times that will be starting on Tuesday. That'll be a 2-day job, and then we'll roll.
Weather permitting.
We'll be starting on Tuesday, and then we'll roll into another job that on Thursday and Friday. So.
Hey, do you ever have these workers when the weather is looking kind of yucky? Say, hey, boss, I'm going to work from home today.
My workers, meaning the roofing crews?
Yes.
No.
My housekeeper does that every now and again. She'll call and say, I'm working from home today.
I can't remember the roofers telling me they don't want to work. I'm always telling them you're not going to work.
Yeah.
As opposed to them telling me they don't want to work. And that's kind of the beauty of where we are now with our shingle technologies and things like that. We are, we're able to work at much lower temperatures. So.
Although we got to keep their hands from freezing before they install the shingles.
Yeah.
That's a unique challenge.
Well, Scotty, let's get you up on the roof and see what it looks like up there. Hang on. It's a windy one today.
It's very windy.
Oh, no, Scotty.
My hands are frozen. I can't grip anything.
What is your view from the rooftop called? Do you have a title for it?
Quality is forged in the details, young lad.
Ooh, I like that.
Whoa.
Do tell.
Well, I was torn until just recently, the last commercial break, about which story I was going to tell, because there were two that competed competed in my mind for today's segment.
Well, we have time. You may be able to tell
I
them
might be able to share the
Might
second,
be able to
or
do
just a
both.
snippet of the second. But so the first, or I should say, my story for today is a job that I was called out to, referred by a general contractor who's doing the interior remodel on this house, and we've worked for his brother-in-law and a couple of his clients in the past. And this is a larger home, has a CertainTeed Belmont roof on it, just was replaced a handful of years ago, so it's in great shape cosmetically. It's in good shape otherwise, primarily. But they've got a lot of adjoining details at the walls. They've got stone walls. They've got a balcony, which is a backyard deck looking over their pool deck. Big, sprawling backyard with beautiful views of the nature around, and wavy live edge cedar siding.
Ooh.
And these things are things that should have been contemplated in the scope of the roof replacement project. But now, 5 or less years after the roof replacement, they've developed significant leaks. And they've only found out by cutting out drywall and finding little nooks and crannies where this water has moved to. And so we're going to be doing an extensive retrofit in several areas of the house that accounts for probably more expense than most people's roof costs.
Yeah.
Because the contractor who did the roof last did not advise them about these little details, the stone wall that really needs to be reconstructed, a saddle that needs to be installed at the stone wall, the wavy live edge cedar siding needing to be removed and reset at the very least, maybe even replaced at that same time, and then the balcony. Oh my gosh! I mean, I took off one of those composite deck boards in my initial inspection to see what was underneath, if it was a TPO or mod bit membrane, what the runners looked like. Those runners were so soft that I had literally pressed my finger through those runners, and that is a common thing on balcony roofs or patio floors balcony floors, patio roofs, essentially, is those runners. They get soft, they get spongy. Nobody wraps them in membrane. They're not sufficiently sloped, and usually the tie-in with the siding wall or stucco wall, whatever it is not
Properly
sufficient.
flashed.
Oh my.
So again, they're spending maybe a third of what their roof cost at that time, and it's a multi-six-figure roof in just repairs.
So this is what we talk about all the time, the devil's in the details.
Yeah.
And here's what, 50 plus years of my experience in the field and looking at all of these problems and dealing with what other people have left consumers dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of things are not designed the way that they should be. In other words, they're designed to fail.
Right.
Mr. Lippert, you have a couple situations
do.
like that on your property. There are a lot of things that just because they were drawn that way, they shouldn't have been built that way, but the carpenter or the contractor were not going to stand up to an architect or an engineer or a consumer and say, hey, I can't build it that way because it's going to fail.
Right.
I've spent my life doing that. Okay. we are in a situation where on the fortified roof in Tulsa, every one of those tie-ins had a wall roof intersection, and they had mold and water in two of the areas of their home, and it was because those roof wall tie-ins intersections were never done correctly in the first place. So when we go out and do this and we remove siding, if it's in a masonry surface that has flashing installed, we lift that flashing up, we run our ice and water up underneath the existing flashing, we put new flashing in on top of our ice and water, we fold the old flashing down, and then we saw cut and counter flash a new flashing detail on top of that. Okay, remember we talk about what do? We build redundant systems.
Yes.
We're trying to have more than one fail point to protect. And this is what Scotty's talking about in this particular home. There are a lot of areas where proper thought and consideration was not given to the details. And certainly when you have a roofing contractor on a home like that, I'm going to tell you that there are very few roofing contractors, I could name a handful of them right now, who are versed, who are capable and competent and understand the complexities and what the devil in the details really looks like in executing that job. And they would have priced that job, that roofing job, accordingly.
Right.
All right? And the homeowner would have been so much better served than having saved the $10,000 or $15,000 that they probably saved with the contractor who ended up doing the work. The devil's in the details. You need to make sure that the contractor you're talking to understands that and question them about the details on your roof. Don't assume they know what they're supposed to do. Ask them what the building code says.
Honestly, a lot of these things should have been, in my opinion, addressed as part of the insurance claim. That was the impetus for them replacing their roof at that time.
Yeah.
But again,
they would have
they
been.
may not have known, the contractor may not have known the ins and outs of certain codes or certain stipulations in the terms and conditions of the policy, which would have governed maybe, or would have warranted an expanded scope at that time.
And that's, they would have been had McRoof been doing the work, because we would have cited all the code references that required all of these things to have been done, and the insurance company would have paid for them. If the contractor doesn't know it or doesn't want to do it, then therefore the consumer got less than they should have gotten, both from the insurance carrier and from the contractor who installed the roof. That's the bottom line.
But ignorance is bliss until there's a leak.
Yeah.
Until there's a leak.
Ignorance is not bliss for a consumer.
And with that, we'll take our final break. Our trivia question is still out there. Somebody needs to call 405-608-4377 and tell us what the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System are. And someone is on the phone right now, so maybe we'll have an answer to that trivia question when we return after this important message. Homer Stacy was a wholesome, good American kid from Texas. At the age of 18, he enlisted in the United States Army Horse Cavalry and was stationed at Fort Bliss. Homer was fascinated with aircraft, so he went to flight school and became an Army Air Corps pilot. Homer Stacy flew a Convair B-24 Liberator, the Yankee Doodle Dandy, on November 11, 1943, when his crew, along with 31 other bombers, destroyed a ball-bearing plant in occupied France. On a return trip, a mechanical failure caused the Yankee Doodle Dandy to drop out of formation, leaving it vulnerable, and shortly thereafter, 7 German Me-109s shot down the plane near Andano, Italy. 4 crew members were killed on board, the others parachuted. 1 was captured and taken prisoner. Homer was among the remaining 5 who made it to Switzerland and returned to duty. Homer Stacy survived World War II, the Korean War, and retired after 23 years of service with many awards and commendations, including the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Purple Heart, and multiple air medals. Homer Stacy McCollum, Scott McCollum's dad. Scott McCollum is McRoof. McRoof.us is owned and operated by the McCollum family, an honorable, trustworthy red, white, and blue family. If you want to fortify your property, call McRoof.us at 405-877-4663. Ask for your complimentary roof inspection performed by a credentialed Hague residential inspector. McRoof.us, saving lives and protecting property by fortifying Oklahoma one roof at a time. Fortifies Oklahoma back on the air for the final segment of this morning's live program on Freedom 96.9. On this date of November 29th, 1910, the first U.S. patent for a traffic light system was issued in Chicago. 1910, traffic lights. I bet there was a big uproar about having to stop for a red light in Chicago. 1910.
I bet.
On this date in 1972, Atari released Pong as a commercial arcade game, the first commercially successful video game in Andy Capp's Tavern in Sunnyvale, California. Did you ever drop quarters into video game arcade machines?
I did.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Uncle Frank and I used to sit at the machine. What was Pac-Man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Frank and I used to sit at Pac-Man, putting quarters in it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Pac-Man was fun.
We have Charles on the line, and Charles, what do you think are the components of the Certainteed Integrity Roof System?
Well, I'm looking through the brochure that Johnny brought out when he
Good for you.
Oh,
Good for you.
Anyway, yeah, they did. Y'all did my roof the last 2 Thursday and Friday on October.
All right, Charles, lay it on
good.
us.
Well, we appreciate you calling in to talk to us.
I'm guessing it's fiberglass, laminated fiberglass on one, and this one you show here, it's a Street Fighter. It says mineral core, copper layer, and ceramic coating.
Gotcha. That's
the
algae.
Hey,
that's
Charles.
the algae resistant aspect of the shingles, Charles.
Charles, turn that brochure to the last page and look at the Integrity Roof System, where it has a drawing of a roof and has little arrows pointing to the 5 things.
Oh.
You got it?
Okay. Not the last page.
Well, maybe it's the inside page.
I saw it somewhere. I saw that somewhere.
I think it's inside the back cover.
There you go.
Oh, back cover this whole thing? Wait.
It depends on what brochure you're
cover.
talking about.
Yeah, I know. It does for sure. There's 5-star warranty. There's a roof and integrity roof system.
There you go. There you go.
I saw that one somewhere. This is waterproofing underlayment, water resistant underlayment.
Yeah.
Starter shingles.
Yeah,
you're doing it.
Yeah, read it to us.
Do that all again a little louder and slower.
Okay. Well, I don't have my teeth in. I have a dentist. So, but anyway, I'm trying to get this done here. It's, waterproofing underlayment.
There you go.
Keep going.
Water resistant underlayment. Starter shingles.
Underlayment, starter shingles.
That's 2?
No, that's 3. He said waterproofing underlayment, starter shingles. That's 3. Keep going, Charles.
And shingles and hip and roof caps.
Shingle is 4 and hip and ridge is 5. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding. We got you there, Charles. We got you there.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
I'm
disappointed. Scott was supposed to come by my house, and I guess he did. My son said there was a guy sitting out in his car.
I did come by there.
Yeah, I thought you was going to come up and knock on the door so I could shake your hand and say thank you.
Oh, well, I knew you had company, or there were 3 or 4 cars on the driveway. I didn't want to bother y'all, but I'll come by and say hi to you, Charles. I'll come by and say hi to you.
We just have a lot of cars, so.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right. Well,
you pleased with that new roof?
Yeah, it looks good. It does. It looks good.
Well, we want it to look good and do good for a long time.
All right, Charles. Well, stay on the line and tell Randy what you want, what kind of gift you want. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Thanks for calling, Randy. Enjoy your weekend,
Charles.
Thank you, Charles. I hope he gets his teeth in sometime today.
So we've got our underlayment called what, Scotty?
Well, which one?
Winter,
the normal?
Certainty names Winter Guard.
You said underlayment. There's 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Winter Guard and Diamond Deck.
Our waterproofing underlayment.
Waterproofing underlayment is what goes on first. That's Winter Guard.
Okay.
Or Winter Guard Pro, which is a new product Certainty's come out with.
Okay. All right. And then we've got our underlayment, which we use.
Well, starter course or underlayment, depending on which detail you're doing, the eave or the rake. And the starter course is called Swift Start.
Okay.
Then we've got our high temperature underlayment, our Diamond Deck or Roof Runner, synthetic, high grade synthetic. Field shingles, Certainty Landmark, Northgate, Climate Flex, Presidential, you name it. Any kind of shingle you want. And lastly, you've got your compatible hip and ridge product to go with the field shingle.
Typically shadow ridge on most of our roofs. And then the 6th element that I am adding that Certainty should have had on there, ventilation, the number 1 reason that roofs fail in Oklahoma, improper ventilation. So, ventilation.
All right. So you mentioned earlier about the winter weather installation process.
Yeah.
You have some special
Well, you know,
tricks.
we've talked for years about temperature range of 40 and rising.
Right.
And we talked about that in terms of anything exterior. We've talked about it in terms of roofing, painting, pouring concrete, you know, anything like that. Well, in our shingle world now, with the introduction of the Flex technology, the modified asphalt polymer shingles, we actually can install those shingles down to 20 degrees. Now the caveat to that is that if the shingles have frozen in the packaging on the ground the night before, that you need to take those shingles and put them up on the roof, open the bundles, and spread them out on the roof to where they can get the sunlight and things to them and start to pre-warm. Because if you nail if you nail below that temperature of frozen shingle, you're going to shatter that shingle.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's really the deal. But we're down to 20 degrees now. So obviously at 20 degrees, we're really, really cold. And I'm not wanting to be out there. But if the roofers want to work and we're needing to get a roof done, now the thing that you'll have, I will tell you that if we install a roof in that condition, say we installed a roof in 25 degree day in February, all right, I'm going to anticipate in March when the big winds blow that we may have a shingle or two that fly up, a tab or two, or a hipper ridge shingle or something, because the shingles may not have ever gotten to that point where they sealed the way that we want them to seal. But
especially on the north and east.
That's the worst that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And we're aware of that. I tell people in the wintertime installs, if that happens, we're going to be right back out and take care of it. It's not a big deal. So I wouldn't fret about doing an install down to very, very cold temperatures. And we don't have that many days in Oklahoma that are at 20 degrees and not rising.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
All right. So you mentioned a couple of storms that we had. This hailstorms in the fall. So what are some winter weather tips for folks?
Well, I think the biggest tip I could give people is, it's time to inspect. We're probably past our fall storm season. So that's not really an issue now in terms of either the tornadoes or the hail. That should be over with, so we know what the condition of your roof is going to be going into the winter time. It's time to get all of that organic material off your roof, and we can certainly take care of that when the guys come out. Somebody comes out to do your inspection for you. But I would recommend, if you haven't had a professional, a credentialed roof inspector on your roof anytime recently, now's the time to do that. We can assess the condition of your roof. We can advise you as to what the truth on the roof really is. Take care of any of those little details that need to be taken care of to get you ready for winter and get you through the winter without some unpleasant things happening on your rooftop. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay, I need to say that S&CM LLC, doing business as McRoof.us, legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both residential and commercial roofing. So in the minute we have left here, you have a code training class coming up in Tulsa?
Well, I just got told by Avery that we have bumped that to after the first of the year. So that is off the board, but I will tell you that I was the first roofing contractor that Institute for Business and Home Safety had ever asked to participate in their disaster discussions podcast.
Wow.
And that will hit the airwaves on Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
The
That's
3rd
cool.
of December. So
very nice.
Honored with that. So glad to be a part of it. Great cause. So, Mr. Larry, if you're out there listening this morning, want you to know that Wanda and I will be delivering your apple pie before the weekend is over. So, longtime friend of ours. We just did 3 roofs for him in Del City, Midwest City, here over the last week or two. And Wanda and I are bringing you a pie, Larry.
Oh, gosh, I wish my name was Larry now. Okay, so we're about to start our wrap-up. I do want to thank Retro Radio Randy for answering the phones this morning, even though he's on probation.
You're welcome.
Want to thank Charles for calling in and
Absolutely.
Getting the trivia question right. Young Scott McCullum, thank you so much. We are going to be back next week with another edition of McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma. So as we wrap up this Saturday's live program, Scott, you have some dad's wisdom for us?
Yeah, and Scotty reminds me of this all the time. Just keep tapping on the rock. It's not the last big blow that did the trick, but the accumulation of all the little ones.
All right. And folks, if you'd like to have that roof inspection, give Roof RX a call, 405-877-7663, 405-877-7663. 7663.
And if you call us for an inspection, we'll get there before Christmas. That's about all I can promise you right now.
Very good. You can also find them on roof-rx.com. All right, McRoof Fortifies Oklahoma. This has been show number 35 on Freedom 96.9. We'll be back next week.
Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving.
Enjoy your weekend.
KQOP Enid, Oklahoma City. Make the right choice.